I'm Chronix, and this is Crystal from the most extreme wrestling. And this is your Raw review for December 31st, 2012, and unfortunately this will be our last Raw review
Of the year.
of the year.
I'm sorry, did I mess up your comedic timing?
Well, a little bit.
It's okay.
But this episode is from Washington, D.C. It's the end of the year, and it's a New Year's celebration as we got the New Year's celebration going on as well.
New Year's celebration going on as well. So
I got my spot glass.
I made some beer cheese. We have some crackers. And I also made, not on the table, pound cake. And Hello Dollies. More commonly known as 7-layer surprise or something like that.
Yeah, I had never heard of any of that stuff before I met you.
That's right. And I made them all tonight for me and you.
Well,
basically.
I know this is a very small party, but it also, in turn, is a very large party.
That's right.
Because
So
y'all are all
party.
there with us.
Except they're there tomorrow.
Yeah. But you know, you get
In
it.
spirit.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Raw. Raw happened on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
They can watch it on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
It works.
I'm just saying.
In my own mind, I'm telling you. Alright, so we start off the episode with Miz TV. And it's always must-see TV, or at least in their mind. Their own mind.
I didn't watch the episode because I was making food and watching The Twilight Zone.
That's true.
Because The Twilight Zone is my New Year's tradition.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people didn't watch this episode. A lot of people didn't watch the Christmas episode. I did watch it.
Why.
I did watch it. But our power went out, and it went out for 3 days.
Sure it did.
So, it was pretty rough, freezing cold time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but here we are.
We got like a foot of snow.
We did. In Arkansas. Can you believe it?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, we find out during this episode of Miz TV that every single championship will be on the line, and it will be up to the champions to decide who they're going to defend against. So I'm thinking, how could anybody lose? Because they can pick anybody they want. And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be picking the toughest guy around the room.
I'd pick like,
Santino.
no, not even him. Who's
Hornswoggle?
somebody that I probably never even heard of that's like so low on the card that sucks really bad?
I don't know. Like some guy who sucks?
Yeah, like that.
Like Heath Slater?
That's who I would pick.
Well, Heath
Not
Slater.
even that level. I'm talking like never even been on TV is like 18 years old level. That's who I would pick.
Okay, I don't know about that one.
I'm just saying, that's who I would pick.
Well, I mean, that would be a good choice.
Exactly.
Like a Ryback jobber.
Yes.
Yeah, like one of those guys.
Yes.
Alright. So, we have our special guest, 10-time WWE champion, John Cena. John Cena comes out there, and he wants to wish everyone a very happy new year, and all of that fun stuff. The Miz says, what do you really think about AJ? And I'm like, really? I thought we already figured out what he thought of AJ. I mean, they made out, they had their thing. Is this not over? I mean, is this still continuing?
Because people don't know.
I know. But I guess they want to make sure that he doesn't have any feelings left. Cena says it's over. Miz says you won't have any hard time RSVPing to AJ and Dolph's party tonight. They're going to have a New Year's celebration as the main event. Because, we love having main events that are just like talking stuff. But I mean, that's just the way it is. So, Damien Sandow and Cody Rhodes come out. And then they talk about RG3 for some reason, and the entire crowd...
Because he plays for the Washington Redskins.
Oh, and they were in Washington, D.C. How is it that you know more about football than I do?
Because I work with entirely men. Literally. All guys.
I work with all women. That's kind of weird.
That's how I know more about football than you.
Well, okay. Well,
also, I follow RG3 because he is from my college.
It's true. So, Baylor represent.
Well, whoa. I wish I had my giant bear claw that I have at work.
That's true. Alright. So, Cena wants a tag match. And this is where it gets super special. They're going to have The Miz and John Cena versus Damien Sandow and Cody Rhodes later. And Michael Cole says, my God, how can you... I can't believe that John Cena and The Miz are going to tag. Who would have ever thought this could have ever happened? And I said, wait a minute.
Before.
Not only have they tagged...
I remember it happening.
They were tag champions.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
But every time something interesting happens, Michael Cole is always like, this has never happened before in the history of the WWE.
That's true. And he also says that Cody's mustache has been trending for weeks, making it sound like it's been trending nonstop. which is just no, could not be. And also, Cole was saying that they were chanting Cody's mustache when in fact in that spot they were chanting Miz is awesome. I mean, how could you possibly get that confused? So that's, I guess they had the match. I don't even remember who won that match. King is like begging people to give him ideas for like nicknames they can make fun of the Rhodes Scholars, and I'm just like, what? I'm like, really? Why do they have to have so many little pet names and funny names? Just stop. Rhodes Scholars is fine. The mustache. Begging the fans to send him ideas?
Pathetic.
That's sad.
This is Jerry the King Lawler.
Yes.
He has.
Oh, skull crushing finale. AA, Miz and John Cena, they go away with the victory. So, okay. So we have a party in the back, and I swore I saw Tensai without his face tattoos, but I saw him later in the night with them. So I don't know if he forgot and then put them on, or maybe the stream was so low
I felt
quality.
pretty stupid the other day because you showed me a picture of Tensai like with his kid, and I was like, "Where's his face tattoo?" I totally thought that was real.
Well,
I did. It was a blonde moment.
I mean, I guess, like, that part of the storyline worked, you know, but I guess nothing else did, because you never was like, oh my gosh, he is so unbelievably dominant.
Oh no, I was never like that. I was like, look, it's an old fat dude.
Yeah.
With a tattoo on his face.
So, Dolph tries to make up with Vicky for whatever reason. I guess because, like, she's, like, the acting captain of Raw or something.
The acting captain of Raw. She's the general manager.
She is not the general
last freaking time.
She's not.
Yeah,
She's not the general manager. She's the acting something. She is not the general manager. They say it every single time.
She's a general manager.
She's not.
She's the acting general manager.
No, she's the something else, but she's not.
It has the words general manager in it.
But she's not that high. She's lower.
Then who's the general manager?
No one.
She's the general manager.
She's not. She's not. I promise
She
you.
is. She
I
is.
promise
She
you.
is.
Now, next time I'm gonna write it down.
Good.
But she's like, no, and that's not gonna happen. But you're gonna have a match with Sheamus instead, and he's all like, no, and everything. So
I thought, well, he doesn't have a title. Never mind.
Punk joins the party. As straight edge as he is, he comes to the party.
So he would not have one of these.
Well, what is that?
It's a cherry bomb.
Yeah, he would not
He
have
would
that.
have one of yours, though.
Yes, this is a sparkling
Grape juice.
Welch's grape juice.
It's really good.
I am not drinking the alcoholic drink, and you are, for whatever reason.
You know what? It's unusual.
It is very
Usually you have your Jaeger bomb. This is my drink of choice, by the way. In case anyone ever wondered.
So Punk comes to the party and says that he has his own doctor, and that doctor is going to be coming to the ring later on tonight to explain why Punk cannot wrestle and what's going on with his knee and everything, because apparently some people think that his injury is not legitimate, or maybe he's milking his injury, making it sound like it is worse than it actually is.
Gee.
And he's going to prove that that is not the case.
I'm shocked.
So now we have the United States Champion, Antonio Cesaro. And he's going to have a match, and his hand-picked opponent is none other than Sergeant Slaughter.
Really?
Yep. So Sergeant Slaughter comes down, and
I'll be back.
I was just waiting for, don't fall.
I'm trying not to.
I was waiting for Sergeant Slaughter to make his, like hit the mat, because I'm like, this guy cannot hit the mat very often, because even, like, over 10 years ago at WrestleMania 17, I mean, he barely did anything, right? I mean, it wasn't like he made it bad or anything, but he, you know, he just can't, like, hit the mat or anything. So he has the match, and he barely, I mean, you know, they have a good match and everything, but he only hit the mat one time, and that was...
Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter.
No, that really added to the video. He gets the neuralizer done. I think that's the one where he like flipped upside down and flipped onto his face.
Like on Men in Black?
No, neutralize. That's neutralizer, neuralizer.
But you said neuralizer.
I said neutralizer.
You said neuralizer.
See, I did the thing like on Men in Black.
Because that's a neuralizer.
Anyways, he does it, and he does it kind of ever so gently. And he actually does it twice. But poor old, what's his name? Sergeant Slaughter does not get the match and everything.
He does not get the match?
He does not win the match.
How
Hold
does he
on
not
a
win?
second. What is that?
What?
You got cake batter on my glass.
I'm sorry.
And there was a lot of silence during this match, by the way, which I thought was kind of weird, until he tries to hit the Cobra clutch. Is that what? Cobra clutch? Why does that sound weird? You got me all messed up.
I got you messed up.
And, yeah, so that, and then they were just so quiet. I don't know, but
Oh no.
it's okay, because that match is over.
I dropped Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter loses. Kane and Daniel Bryan, they wanted to have the Shield, but they can't have the Shield because someone else has already chosen the Shield for a match.
Who?
Ryback.
Really?
But Ryback's not a champion. How does that make sense?
It doesn't.
Huh. Well, maybe I'll figure this out when we get later in the thing, because that doesn't make any sense. Anyways, so they see 3MB rehearsing in the locker room, and they decide that they would be good candidates to go and have them compete for their tag team championships and everything.
Okay.
So Bryan has decided. Now we have the Big Show, the World Heavyweight Champion, and he chooses Ricardo Rodriguez as
See, that's
his
a
opponent.
logical choice.
Exactly.
Very logical. Choosing the Shield, not a logical choice.
But, yeah, okay. So.
Choosing Ricardo.
I think the Shield already had a match in place. I don't think anybody chose them.
Okay. You figured it out now?
I think. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But now we have Eve. And she has chosen Mae Young.
Again, a logical choice.
Yes.
She's old as the hills. Older
Indeed.
than the hills.
I don't think I've ever even heard that term, but...
You've never heard the term old as the hills.
No. Maybe you're as old as the hills.
Apparently my expressions are, because you haven't heard of at least half of them.
That's true. So, Team Hell No, now going against 3MB. And for whatever reason, Jinder Mahal's just not cool enough to be in the match. I don't know why. I mean, he just has to say ringside, because I guess the other guys are more important or something. Lawler does ask the question that I've been asking. Where's the drummer in this tag team?
You have been asking that.
And he asked. He says that he was once a drummer, but I'm sure he was making
He was
jokes.
once a drummer.
But, yeah. So, I also wonder that as well. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But Team Hell No wins, of course. And we move on to the segment, I got time, with Paul Heyman, the Doctor, and CM Punk.
You have
I got time.
about 3 minutes or a little less.
It's
to
a
get through that
3-minute
segment.
warning. So, he's got his guy out there, and he's saying that, you know, he cannot wrestle, and this is a legitimate injury, and all of this. And he's like, tonight, or not tonight, but I have Ryback in a match. And that's going to be like next week or whatever. In TLC. And then they get like a SmackDown pop. Because this was a recorded show, and you can hear the SmackDown pop, like plug-in soundbite that they use and everything.
Can you?
Yes. Vince McMahon comes out and says, Happy New Year.
Vince McMahon!
Yeah, you're super excited.
I love Vince.
And so Punk is like, you know, Vince, you were unjustly prosecuted by the U.S. government and everything. And he's talking about that. Vince says, listen, Punk, it doesn't matter what your little doctor says. It's all up to the WWE officials. If our WWE official says you're cleared to wrestle, then you will wrestle.
Oh.
But if Punk cannot wrestle in that TLC match that's like coming up in a week or so, then Heyman will have to fight Ryback.
Okay. That sounds cool.
In a TLC match. That's pretty crazy.
I think I'd pay to see that more than Punk fighting Ryback.
And it's not a pay-per-view, so... But Paul Heyman has got to be old. I don't know how old he is.
He's old.
He is old. I can't imagine him getting in the ring.
I wonder
And he
how many
has been
people
in
that
in-house
have
shows.
watching our show that are older that laugh every time we call somebody old that's like their age.
Well,
Did you ever think about that?
no, because it's different, because being old in being able to wrestle in the ring, you know, like it's a different kind of old.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, if you're 50 and in the ring, you are old as dirt. But if you're 50 and just a dude, you know, there's nothing wrong. You can run marathons. You can do all kinds of stuff.